Everybody, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, great. Yeah. Uh, so everybody, as you can see, here is the midterm exam 3 information. Your exam will be held on this Thursday, that is April 23rd. And as a syllabus, you have to look class lectures starting from 17 through 21. 21 means today's class. And as usual, you have to look those short questions and the theories, and if there are any numerical problems that you have discussed in the classes. And then, likewise, the second exam, I will be asking only 5 questions so that you all can cover in time and you can scan and upload on due time. And then again, question pattern will be the same as the other exam, like midterm exam 1 or midterm exam 2. Uh, you know that class lecture 17, that is basically, there are set of questions. There are 15 questions. You remember one day only I discussed 15 questions throughout the class. And today, I think this morning, I have updated that class. So if you open that class lecture 17, you will be noticing that I have written down the answers for all those 15 questions. So therefore, in case anybody have downloaded and saved class lecture 17 before, but I would recommend, please you upload it, sorry, please download it once again so that you will get the answers to those all 15 questions in class lecture 17. And also I am going to update all the classes which have the questions. I will be writing down the answers. So definitely by today, you will be getting all updated slides. But first I updated 17 because that has like the most questions. There are 15 questions there. And that is the part of your syllabus. So therefore this time, I mean, the syllabus is short, only I think for 5 classes, including today's on. Yeah. And I think there is not much numerical problem. So mostly my short questions will be asked. And I think yesterday I updated, I have already posted your grades for midterm exam talk. Has everybody noticed your grades?
Yes, we saw them, Dr. Ali.
Okay.
But Dr. Ali, for exam 3, I don't think we covered
For
anything
example,
numerical problem. So it will be only short answer questions, right?
yeah, mainly short questions. I think from class lecture 17 through including today, there is no numerical problems. So therefore it will be mostly short questions.
Yes, there's no numerical problems.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Um, so therefore, regarding the midterm exam 2 for the grades, in case if you have anybody has any questions, comments, then you can communicate with me through email. If you think that it is not justified or I made mistake in grading in any of the questions, then please contact me. And also, like for everybody, sometimes I noticed in your exam script, even sometimes in homework, you are like making zip file. So zip folder, yeah. And then again, I need to open and then download all the files. And you have multiple files. Yeah. So please make one single file. For example, there can be 5 questions and then you may have 5 pages, for example. But please, you make them a single file. Yeah. You scan one by one, but then after scanning, please combine them together. Make a single file. So that is easy for you and for me as well. And I think there are free PDF converter. So if you have any type of file, JPG file, any picture file, any Word file, everything can be converted into PDF file. And then first you convert PDF file, and then there is PDF merger or PDF combiner. There are all the free software. So easily you can do, I mean, in a minute or two. So therefore, please everybody make that practice how you can combine multiple files together. In some cases, I have found those just I need long time and to recover those things. Especially, please don't make the zip folder. Yeah. because I need to download in my computer. So, and then again, I need to unzip. And then again, you have like 5, 6 files there. So please and please you learn how to make a single file. Okay, moving forward. Today I'll not be going over a lot of things because today I have the faculty senate meeting I will be joining. So I like to finish the class within like 2:15. Okay, so as you can see, in last class, we were discussing about uh, impact of various cyber attacks on smart power grid or power grid. And we discussed several types of cyber attacks. And among all those cyber attacks, two are the most important, like most researchers considers those two cyber attacks. One is called that DDoS attack. Like again, below I have written for you, DDoS means distributed denial of service attacks. And then the other one is called BDI or the FDI, bad data injection or the false data injection. These two are of high importance, paramount importance. And for every researcher considers the applications of these two types of attacks to see the effectiveness of their control algorithm or the attack detection algorithm. So as I mentioned here, that DDoS attack affected 80% of the electrical enterprises in various countries. That's why it has been like most severe. Like you can make an analogy, like in conventional power grid, three-phase to ground fault is the severest. Similarly, you can assume that DDoS attack is the severest so far. Again, in the coming days, there might be other type of attacks. It is not end, so we can conclude. But so far, DDoS attack is the most severest. And then similarly, like FDI attack is like in terms of ranking, severity ranking, it is the second severest type of attack. So therefore, once again, before going to the next slides, the DDoS attack basically it creates jamming the flow of information, or it block the signal, or it disrupt the signal. Consequently, it introduces significant amount of delay, and not just like millisecond, maybe several second delay, which is too big for the system. And then bad data or false data injection or tampering communication data or signal. Basically, it also causes some sort of delay in the system, but its main target is to change the command and control signal. For example, you have a DC to DC converter and you need voltage signal or you need the power signal as an input. And that voltage and power has a reference value, for example, 100 watt. That FDI attack or BDI attacker, they change that set point. Instead of 100, they may put it like 10,000 volt or 1 million volt, or they make it negative voltage or the zero voltage. Therefore, even though your measurement devices in the system would be working fine, they are taking measurements correctly, but because your reference or set point have been changed, consequently, the error signal will be completely strange and then ridiculous. So controller will produce the very ridiculous output. For example, the chopper duty cycle, instead of value between 0 and 1, it will be very big number, strange number. Consequently, your inverter, DC to DC converter, other smart inverter uh, will misbehave or misoperate, and this means the controller performance will be degraded, and ultimately the impact will go over the entire power network. So that's why today we'll be looking some example how those two attacks, DDoS and vector attack, impacts the performance of the power grid. So moving forward, I think I showed you this picture in last class. This is how a DDoS attacker attacks a target. You see, it has like 4 stages, attacker on top. He is using a computer, and with the help of computer, attacker is sending some message to controller. Again, these controllers could be the combination of some hardware and some software. And those controllers, after receiving the message from the attacker, they're sending some sort of command to the agents or the bots. Again, as you can see in the picture, those are some sort of computers in which there are various types of softwares included. And upon receiving the message from the controller, these agents, they don't understand anything what to do. Randomly, they started sending signals, which is called like attack traffic to the target. Therefore, like you are getting, it looks like you are thinking you are getting some legitimate, some legal message. You are like trusting or believing someone, but then continuously message is coming in your email inbox or in your system. You could not finish reading one email or one document. Then again, the second data is coming. In that way, it is creating jamming or the flow in the communication path. And that ultimately cause the significant delay. Your system will be halt or the freeze, meaning that your system will be fully destroyed or the misoperational. Okay, so therefore regarding that, because it is, you see that compromised network, control traffic, and then attack traffic, and they cause the jamming in the traffic flow. So I have collected some information in the next slide. You see examples of DDoS cyber attacks. You see, it is the like largest DDoS attacks in terms of peak traffic rates. How was the jamming was the flow of rate? So on the leftmost column, you can see various organizations like GitHub, Dane, BBC, BBC News Channel, and then Cloudflare and Spamhaus. And then in the second column, a brief detail about those organizations like GitHub, web-based version control hosting service. Dane is a major DNS provider. Cloudflare, a US-based company providing network security services, including DDoS mitigation. And then Spamhaus, a non-profit organization to track email spammers and spam-related activity. Now, these are the organization details. And then there was DDoS cyber attack. On the rightmost column, rate of attack. You can see 1.35 3 bit per second, 1.2 3 per bit per second, 602 gigabit per second, close to 400. This is close to 300 Gbps. And then here are the attack date. February 28, 18, October 21st, 16, in that way. So this means all of these organizations got affected due to this DDoS cyber attack and with different type of attack rate, meaning that in that way they got the jammed with various attack rate and very high attack rate. That's why DDoS attack is very important. As I told you, like I myself compare it with that three-phase to ground fault, which is the severest so far in the conventional power grid. But the difference is that in conventional power grid, that is the severest attack. There cannot, sorry, that is the severest fault, three-phase to ground fault. There cannot be any severest fault than that. But in case of cyber attack, still it is not end. We can't conclude that DDoS attack is the only attack. There might be other types of attack which could be more dangerous. Anyway, so based on that information available so far, that DDoS attack is the severest one. Let's have a look some of the example how it degrades the system performance. So again, like everybody remember, I showed this slide a few times in previous classes. So today I will show you just few example on the impact of cyber attacks on the energy storage system in a hybrid power grid. This means this is an example of hybrid grid. There are wind farm, there are solar farm, there is supercapacitor based energy storage. On the top right side, there is synchronous generator, which is conventional power plant. TSC is a thyristor switch capacitor on time of reactive power controller, and all generation sources connected at a common bus, which is called the PCC, point of common coupling, and all they are feeding to the 11 kV grid to which the customers will be connected. Now, And then on top of that, you can see SCADA, that supervisory control and data acquisition system, which is continuously monitoring the status of all the components and bidirectional component, and accordingly it is making control decision. So anyway, so before going to that example, one of the feature of the system that there is energy storage. I mean, by now we all know well about the function of energy storage, but for this system, the way energy storage is working, which is when there is no PV, that time energy storage will be working. This means, as you can see, the solar system capacity is 2 megawatt. So therefore, for example, at night, there is no PV system. That time energy storage will be functional. That is the, or when PV system is working, energy storage is not providing any power. This is the role of that energy storage system. But the assumption is that synchronous generator and wind farm are continuously providing power, assuming that there is favorable wind or required wind speed, and there is required fuel input to the synchronous machine. So therefore, just keep in mind that when PV is working, energy storage is not working. On the other hand, when energy storage is working, PV is not working. That is the meaning. So with that assumption, uh, everybody, let's have a look. Just some example. Impact of DDoS cyber attack on ACS means supercapacitor energy storage. I mean, that is storage that I mentioned. So here you see I'm showing various profiles like voltage at that common bus point, power at that common bus point, VCC means point of common coupling. Number 3, frequency response of synchronous generator and frequency response of wind generator. So as you can see, the condition is that initially the PV was working, but at 0.5 second PV is turned off and energy storage system is 1. That is the condition in each case. And then because there is some switching, PV is off, energy storage on, there is some sort of oscillation or the deviation of each responses. But after that, system became stable. System became stable in each case. But here what we are considering, that there is a DDoS attack that happened at 3.5 seconds and continued until 5 seconds. So the attack duration is from 3.5 to 5. This means about 1.5 seconds. And as you can see, all like every variable changed. And then even though there is no attack after 5 seconds, but as you can see, almost about 7 seconds, there is some sort of oscillation going on. In this case, there is much more oscillation. In this case, until 7, there is oscillation, even though there is no attack after 5 seconds. This means this timing, especially look this response, figure 1 voltage. This is the most important. Voltage is like fully going down, very low, significantly low. So this means this has a severe impact. Connected customers will face poor quality issue because their voltage is going significantly low. So the connected devices will be impacted. So this means clearly the DDoS attack has significant impact or it works in an adverse manner on the system. Now, I think I have 2 more results. Impact of bad data injection attack on SAS. In this case, it is not DDoS, it is just false data or bad data injection. So what happened? In this case, you know that energy storage has also some sort of input that requires constant value. But with the bad data injection attack, that reference value of the energy storage has been changed. And then everybody see, again in this case, attack duration is 3.5 second to 5 second, and not the whole duration of the whole timing. But still, as you can see, here the energy storage is getting disabled and consequently voltage dropped down and it never came back. I think in the previous class I showed you this picture. You see, consequently, all thing like got disturbed. And even though there is no attack after 5 seconds, but still, because the system got collapsed down, consequently, power is not able to return back to the original condition. Same thing is happening for other response current at the VCC and the frequency response of the wind generator. This means that you can see what will happen to the connected customers. Everybody will be severely impacted. And then another example here, impact of crash overwrite attack on the energy storage. Probably you could remember that crash overwrite attack means attack on the circuit breakers. Attacker is unnecessarily continuously sending on and off command. Unnecessarily it is making on and off. When it is not time to be on, they are making the circuit breaker on, or when it is not time to be reclosed, they are closing it unnecessarily. So that's why you see again I have written that for this case, the assumption is that solar system is turned off at 0.5 second and the energy storage is turned on at 0.5 second, and crash override attack on the circuit breaker of the energy storage. This means they are disabling the energy storage system at three intervals, 2.5 to 3 second. Second attack is between 4.5 and 5 second. Third attack is 6.5 to 8.5 second. And then as you can see the response voltage at that common point and terminal voltage of that synchronous generator. So if this is the situation continuously going on, not only the customers will be impacted, not only their power quality will be degraded, but also the circuit breakers on which the crash override is happening, that may be damaged. Because circuit breakers, it has a certain range uh, to flow current. It cannot tolerate those continuous situation or continuous contingency. Therefore, even that circuit breaker protective relay system might be fully broken and might be damaged. And that might cause the full blackout of the system. And as I mentioned you before, that typically circuit breakers are on the transmission line and the distribution line. So therefore, there will be huge blackout and the major impact on the entire grid. Therefore, you see, these are very dangerous. It is not like any short circuit or any open circuit. It's not any tornado, hurricane, or any other impact. Just silently, the attacker is making circuit breaker on and off, and that is causing this type of oscillations. Immediately, customers are getting impacted, and then simultaneously, circuit breakers might be fully broken, and that might cause the major blackout to the entire nation and to the entire connected grid. So therefore, as I told you that I like to finish soon today, as I have a meeting, faculty senate meeting. But next class I will continue and conclude this course by telling some mitigation strategies. We look the impact, but how we can mitigate. What is the solution to mitigate the negative impact or adverse impact of those cyber attacks on the controller performance. Plus, we will say like few other stuffs, and then we will be concluding. Uh, is there any questions and comments from anybody? Okay, so therefore hearing none, so everybody see, I mean, here is the, I mean, this is the, until this slide, that is the syllabus for the exam 3. And as I told you, like by tonight, you will be looking that I have updated every slide by writing down the answers to the questions. And then, I mean, right after the class, you could start looking first class lecture 17, where there were 15 questions, and I have already written down the answers. And then I'm making available everything. I mean, homework set 2 answers, midterm exam 2 answers, everything I am going to make available for you, all the answers. And even in, I think 2 or 3 classes, there are few questions I'm writing down and I'm making available everything for you by tonight, so that everybody is fully ready for the third exam. So I think many of you have done well in the midterm exam too, but everybody please try your best to do much better in the third exam so that you can cancel your worst one. As I told you that among three midterm exam, I will be picking up the best two. For example, you have got on 90, you got on 85, and you got on 80, for example. So your 80 will be cancelled. I will be picking up your 85 and 90. Therefore, everybody please try your best. And then offline, if you have any questions and comments, you are most welcome. You could reach out me at email at any time. And then as soon as I see, and then I will respond to you. Okay, so with that now, I think it is already like 2:16. Now I am stop sharing my screen. Uh, has anybody has any questions or comments? I think. Okay, so with that, then thank you everybody for joining, and have a good day, and please be prepared for the third exam, and please be safe. So see you on Thursday. Okay. Okay, Dr. Hashid. Okay, bye.